Have you ever been betrayed? Have you felt the urge to give them another chance, hoping they would change or make amends for their mistakes? If so, you are not alone. Many people struggle with the dilemma of whether to forgive and forget, or to cut ties and move forward. However, what if I told you how wise and virtuous it could be to learn not to give people a second chance in such situations? With the 9 Stoic lessons shared in this text, you can learn to navigate situations like these. Lesson 1. Exercising mastery over emotions for clear decision-making. One of the most critical lessons in personal growth and making conscious decisions is learning the art of mastering our emotions to keep them from clouding our judgment. Emotions are an integral part of the human experience. They color our lives with joy, sadness, anger, and fear. However, when faced with situations that hurt or challenge us, our immediate emotional reactions, while natural, can lead us astray. Feeling emotions such as anger, sadness, or a desire for revenge when confronted with a situation that harms or disappoints us is typical. While these emotions may be valid, acting on them without careful thought can lead to thoughtless and irrational decisions, making the situation worse. Ancient Stoic philosophers, emphasizing self-control, discipline, and rationality, offer timeless advice on this matter. They teach the importance of avoiding the influence of emotional resistance and passions. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "Do not let the force of an impression when it first hits you knock you off your feet. Just say to it, 'Hold on a moment. Let me see who you are and what you represent.'" This powerful statement encourages us to pause and reflect before reacting to our emotions. To apply this lesson, we must first accept our emotions without judgment. Recognizing and accepting what we feel is a critical step in understanding our emotional landscape. Next, we should examine these emotions critically. Are they proportional to the situation, or are they exaggerated? Do these emotions serve a constructive purpose, or are they potentially harmful? This process of internal reflection and rational examination guides us in addressing situations more consciously. By understanding the origins and validity of our emotions, we can decide whether to allow them to guide our actions. Additionally, considering the broader picture and long-term consequences of our actions is crucial. What outcome do we hope to achieve? What is the best course of action aligned with our values and goals? Developing strategies to manage intense emotions is also essential. This may include techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or engaging in physical activities to reduce emotional intensity. Seeking the perspective of a trusted friend or advisor can provide a more objective viewpoint and help us see beyond our immediate emotional reactions. Another crucial aspect is understanding and empathizing with the emotions of others involved in the situation. Conflicts and disagreements often stem from a lack of perspective. By considering the feelings and motivations of others, we can better navigate complex social dynamics and find more harmonious and effective solutions. In conclusion, ensuring that our emotions do not cloud our decisions is a skill that requires continuous practice and self-awareness. By learning to pause, examine, and manage our emotions, we can make thoughtful, balanced decisions aligned with our deepest values and goals. Emotional mastery does not mean suppressing or ignoring our emotions. Instead, it involves understanding them and integrating them into a more holistic and rational lifestyle. As we develop this skill, we not only improve our own decisions, but also enhance our relationships with others, leading to a more satisfying and harmonious life. Lesson 2. Do not confuse forgiveness with reconciliation. The second lesson in dealing with relationships and emotions revolves around understanding the critical difference between forgiveness and reconciliation. This distinction, although often blurry, can lead to healthier and more satisfying human connections. Forgiveness is an internal process of letting go of resentment, anger, or thoughts of revenge towards someone who has harmed us. It is a personal gift we give ourselves for our well-being, and it does not require a specific outcome. In other words, forgiveness is done for our internal peace. Stoic philosophers, with their emphasis on inner peace and rational thinking, advocate for the importance of forgiveness to maintain one's peace of mind. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once stated, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay," encouraging the practice of taking time to process emotions, approaching situations with a calmer and more collected mind. This delay allows us to acknowledge that the offender is a human capable of making mistakes. However, forgiving someone does not imply the necessity of reconciliation. Reconciliation is a more complex process where a relationship is repaired, trust is rebuilt, and harmony is re-established with the person who caused harm. This process requires both sincere apologies and a readiness from the harmed person to forgive and trust again. Stoics, while emphasizing the importance of maintaining inner peace, encourage distinguishing between forgiveness and reconciliation. When considering whether reconciliation is the right choice, several factors come into play. First, the harmed person must genuinely desire this process. Apologizing and expressing a willingness to change form the foundation of reconciliation. Second, the apology should come with honesty and a plan for change. This is essential for rebuilding trust and moving the relationship forward in a healthy manner. Third, the seriousness of the harm and the likelihood of recurrence should be taken into account. If the harm is significant or the person is unwilling to change, reconciliation may not be a practical choice. In considering reconciliation, several factors are crucial. Firstly, the harmed person must genuinely desire this process. Apologizing and expressing a willingness to change form the foundation of reconciliation. Secondly, the apology should come with honesty and a plan for change. This is essential for rebuilding trust and moving the relationship forward in a healthy manner. Thirdly, the seriousness of the harm and the likelihood of recurrence should be taken into account. If the harm is significant or the person is unwilling to change, reconciliation may not be a practical choice. Stoics argue that while maintaining inner peace is essential, one must distinguish between forgiveness and reconciliation when deciding to continue a relationship. Reconciliation requires effort and mutual commitment. If someone is genuinely willing to change and has learned from their mistakes, reconciliation may be worth considering. However, if the harm is severe or there is a lack of willingness to change, it may be wiser to prioritize inner peace and choose a path of forgiveness without reconciliation. Ultimately, Stoic philosophy encourages us to make decisions aligned with our values and well-being, emphasizing the importance of maintaining our internal peace regardless of external circumstances. Lesson 3. Do not compromise your values or standards. Leading a principled life involves a commitment not to compromise your values or standards. Stoics consider living in harmony with one's true nature, which includes embodying rational and socially accepted character traits such as wisdom, courage, self-discipline, and justice. Virtues like respect for others, fair treatment, and generosity form the foundation of a character that brings happiness and satisfaction. Stoics argue that while being kind, fair, and generous to others may seem like noble ideals, these virtues not only represent lofty ideals, but also form the foundation of a happy and fulfilling character. However, when dealing with people or situations that hurt us, there may be a temptation to lower our standards or abandon our values. This can manifest in justifying someone's harmful behavior, desiring them against our better judgment, or overlooking our own values. Stoic teachings emphasize the importance of focusing on our commitment to preserving and developing our inner integrity. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself in your way of thinking." This statement encapsulates the Stoic belief that external circumstances and the actions of others do not determine our happiness. Instead, our response to these external factors, guided by our internal principles, defines our well-being. To maintain our values and standards, it is crucial to develop a deep understanding of our core beliefs and commit to living in accordance with them. This involves reflecting on what virtues and principles are essential to us, as well as identifying non-negotiable boundaries that align with our values. While it is natural to feel the urge to compromise in certain situations, especially when dealing with people we care about or when facing external pressure, Stoic philosophy advises against such compromises. Instead, it encourages us to stay true to our principles, even in the face of adversity or temptation. When confronted with situations that challenge our values, Stoicism suggests a three-step approach. Reflect on your values. Take the time to clarify and understand your core values and principles. What virtues do you hold dear? What standards guide your decisions and actions? Assess the situation. Examine the current situation or relationship in light of your values. Are there aspects that conflict with your principles? Is there pressure to compromise on your values? Make a conscious decision. Based on your reflection and assessment, make a conscious decision to uphold your values. This may involve setting boundaries, expressing your principles, or disengaging from situations that compromise your integrity. By consistently adhering to our values, even in challenging situations, we cultivate a sense of inner strength and integrity. This commitment to virtue not only contributes to our own well-being, but also fosters a sense of trust and respect from others. Additionally, it sets a positive example for those around us, inspiring them to embrace similar principles in their own lives. In conclusion, the Stoic lesson of not compromising values or standards encourages us to remain true to our principles, even in difficult circumstances. By aligning our actions with our deepest values, we build a resilient and virtuous character that leads to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Lesson 4. Establish healthy boundaries. Maintaining healthy boundaries is an essential aspect of cultivating positive and respectful relationships. Stoic philosophy offers valuable insights into setting and preserving boundaries to ensure our well-being and protect our inner tranquility. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and choices, and what is outside our control, external events, other people's opinions, and circumstances. This fundamental Stoic principle provides a solid foundation for understanding and establishing boundaries. Recognizing that we cannot control the actions, attitudes, or choices of others empowers us to focus on our own responses and set boundaries that protect our well-being. Establishing healthy boundaries involves a combination of self-awareness, communication, and assertiveness. Here are key Stoic-inspired lessons on establishing and maintaining boundaries. Define your values and priorities. Before setting boundaries, it's crucial to have a clear understanding of your values, priorities, and non-negotiables. What aspects of your life are most important to you? What behaviors or situations are unacceptable? By identifying these core values, you can establish boundaries that align with your principles. Recognize what is within your control. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control and accept what is not. While we cannot control the actions of others, we can control our responses and choices. Understanding this distinction is fundamental to setting effective boundaries. Communicate assertively. Clearly and assertively, communicate your boundaries to others. Express your needs, expectations, and limits in a respectful yet firm manner. Use I statements to convey your feelings and preferences without placing blame. For example, instead of saying, "You always do this," say, "I feel uncomfortable when..." Be consistent. Consistency is key when it comes to maintaining boundaries. Once you've communicated your limits, strive to uphold them consistently. This sends a clear message about your values and reinforces the importance of respecting your boundaries. Practice self-care. Setting and maintaining boundaries is an act of self-care. Prioritize your well-being by establishing limits on your time, energy, and emotional investment. Understand that it is not selfish to protect your own needs and interests. Be prepared for resistance. Not everyone may respect or agree with your boundaries. Stoicism encourages us to anticipate and accept potential resistance while staying true to our principles. Remember that you are responsible for your choices and the reactions of others are beyond your control. Evaluate and adjust. Periodically reassess your boundaries to ensure they remain aligned with your evolving values and priorities. Life circumstances and relationships may change, requiring adjustments to maintain healthy boundaries. By applying these Stoic-inspired principles, you can create a framework for healthy boundaries that enhance your well-being and contribute to more respectful and fulfilling relationships. Remember that setting boundaries is an ongoing process that requires self-awareness, communication, and a commitment to prioritizing your own needs. In doing so, you cultivate an environment that supports your personal growth and inner tranquility. Lesson 5. Understand the nature of trust. Trust is a fundamental element of healthy relationships, and understanding its nature is crucial for navigating the complexities of human connections. Stoic philosophy provides valuable insights into the concept of trust, emphasizing the importance of aligning our trust with reason, discernment, and a realistic understanding of human nature. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively on trust and its complexities, highlighting the significance of choosing trustworthy individuals and being cautious with our trust. Here are key Stoic-inspired lessons on understanding the nature of trust. Trust is earned, not assumed. According to Stoic philosophy, trust is not something to be given indiscriminately or assumed without evidence. Instead, it is earned through consistent actions, reliability, and integrity. While an initial level of trust may be extended, true trust develops over time based on a person's demonstrated character and behavior. Evaluate actions over words. Stoicism encourages us to focus on actions rather than mere words when assessing trustworthiness. Individuals may make promises or declarations, but their actual behavior and choices reveal their true character. Pay attention to whether someone's actions align with their professed values and commitments. Be cautious with blind trust. Blindly trusting others without evidence or discernment can lead to disappointment and betrayal. Stoics advocate for a balanced approach to trust, involving a thoughtful and cautious assessment of a person's character and reliability. This doesn't mean adopting a cynical view, but rather being realistic and discerning. Trust is fragile. Stoicism acknowledges the fragility of trust and the potential for betrayal. Understanding that trust is not invulnerable allows us to approach relationships with a degree of caution and discernment. While trust is valuable, it should be accompanied by a realistic awareness of the uncertainties of human behavior. Trust yourself. Before trusting others, Stoicism encourages us to cultivate self-trust. This involves developing a deep understanding of our values, priorities, and boundaries. By trusting ourselves to make wise decisions and set appropriate boundaries, we enhance our ability to navigate relationships with discernment. Re-evaluate trust when betrayed. If trust is betrayed, Stoic philosophy advises a rational and measured response. Instead of reacting impulsively, take the time to evaluate the situation, understand the motives behind the betrayal, and consider the implications for the relationship. This reflective approach allows for a more considered response. Understand the limits of trust. Trust, while valuable, has its limits. Stoicism teaches us to recognize that absolute trust is rare, and there are circumstances where even the most trustworthy individuals may fall short. People are fallible, and external factors can influence their actions. By understanding the limits of trust, we can approach relationships with a realistic perspective, acknowledging that trust requires ongoing assessment and adaptation. Stoics propose a nuanced view of trust that involves degrees of trustworthiness. Instead of viewing trust as an all-or-nothing concept, consider different levels of trust based on a person's consistent behavior and reliability. This approach allows for a more flexible and pragmatic understanding of trust, where it can be adjusted based on observed actions and choices. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to be mindful of our own expectations when it comes to trust. Unrealistic or excessively high expectations can set the stage for disappointment and strain relationships. By maintaining a balanced and reasonable approach to trust, we can better navigate the complexities of human connections. Lesson 6. Cultivate emotional independence. Emotional independence is a key aspect of Stoic philosophy, emphasizing the importance of not allowing external events or the actions of others to dictate our inner emotional state. While it's natural to be affected by external circumstances, Stoics advocate for cultivating a sense of emotional autonomy and resilience. Here are essential Stoic lessons on cultivating emotional independence. Recognize the role of perception. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Stoicism places significant emphasis on the role of perception in shaping our emotional responses. Events themselves are neutral. It is our interpretation and judgment of these events that influence our emotions. By becoming aware of our perceptions and actively choosing how to interpret events, we gain greater control over our emotional reactions. Detach from external outcomes. Stoics encourage us to focus on what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and choices, rather than fixating on external outcomes beyond our influence. By detaching from the desire for specific outcomes, we reduce the impact of external events on our emotions. This doesn't mean apathy or indifference, but rather a realistic acknowledgement of the limits of our control. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool in cultivating emotional independence. By appreciating what we have, rather than dwelling on what we lack or desire, we shift our focus toward the positive aspects of life. Stoicism encourages the practice of gratitude as a means to foster contentment and reduce dependence on external circumstances for happiness. Accept the impermanence of emotions. Stoicism teaches us to recognize the transient nature of emotions. Emotions come and go, and they are not permanent states of being. By accepting the impermanence of emotions, we can approach both positive and negative feelings with equanimity, knowing that they are fleeting experiences. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Developing mindfulness and self-awareness is crucial in cultivating emotional independence. By being present in the moment and observing our thoughts and emotions without immediate reactivity, We gain the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation, can be valuable tools in building emotional resilience. Maintain inner tranquility amidst external chaos. Stoicism encourages us to nurture an inner sanctuary of tranquility, unaffected by external chaos. While external events may be turbulent, our inner state of mind can remain calm and composed. This involves a continuous practice of self-awareness, emotional regulation, and a commitment to maintaining inner peace. By incorporating these Stoic principles into our lives, we can develop emotional independence, a state where our well-being is less contingent on external circumstances and more rooted in our internal attitudes and choices. Lesson 7. Embrace adversity as a path to growth. Adversity is an inevitable part of life, and Stoicism provides a profound perspective on how to approach challenges as opportunities for personal and moral growth. Instead of viewing adversity as a source of despair, Stoics encourage us to embrace it as a transformative force. Here are key Stoic lessons on embracing adversity. Understand the dichotomy of control. Stoicism introduces the concept of the dichotomy of control, emphasizing the importance of distinguishing between things within our control and those beyond it. Adversity often arises from external factors that we cannot control, such as unforeseen events or the actions of others. By focusing on our responses and attitudes in the face of adversity, we reclaim a sense of agency and resilience. View challenges as opportunities. Stoics invite us to shift our perspective on challenges, seeing them not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Every adversity presents a chance to cultivate virtues such as courage, resilience, wisdom, and patience. Seneca expressed this sentiment eloquently. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. By finding meaning and purpose in the face of adversity, we can navigate challenges with greater strength and purpose. Practice voluntary discomfort. Stoicism encourages the intentional exposure to discomfort or challenges as a form of mental and emotional training. By willingly embracing discomfort in controlled situations, we build resilience and reduce the fear of adversity. This practice, known as voluntary discomfort, prepares us for the inevitable challenges that life may bring. Develop a resilient mindset. Resilience is a key virtue in Stoicism, defined as the ability to bounce back from setbacks and adversity. Developing a resilient mindset involves reframing setbacks as opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow. By viewing challenges as temporary and surmountable, we strengthen our capacity to face adversity with courage and determination. Cultivate inner fortitude. Stoicism emphasizes the cultivation of inner fortitude, an enduring strength of character that remains steadfast in the face of adversity. This involves developing qualities such as patience, perseverance, and self-discipline. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus remarked, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Accept the impermanence of life. Stoics recognize the impermanence of all things, including both joy and suffering. Adversity, like all experiences, is temporary. By accepting the transitory nature of challenging circumstances, we gain a broader perspective and the resilience to endure difficulties with grace and composure. Incorporate reflective practices. Stoicism encourages regular reflection on one's thoughts, actions, and responses to adversity. Journaling, contemplation, and mindfulness practices provide opportunities for self-examination and growth. By learning from our experiences, we refine our character and become better equipped to navigate future challenges. By internalizing these Stoic principles, we can transform our relationship with adversity. Rather than viewing challenges as impediments to happiness, we can see them as integral parts of our personal development journey. In embracing adversity, we not only grow stronger individually, but also contribute positively to the well-being of those around us. Lesson 8. Practice detachment from external outcomes. Stoicism teaches the importance of practicing detachment from external outcomes, a mindset that involves accepting that we cannot control the results of our actions or the behavior of others. By cultivating this attitude, we free ourselves from unnecessary anxiety and disappointment, focusing instead on our efforts and intentions. Here are key Stoic lessons on practicing detachment. Focus on internal efforts. Stoicism encourages us to concentrate on our internal efforts and intentions rather than fixating on external outcomes. While we may influence our actions and decisions, we cannot control how the world responds. By directing our energy toward what is within our control, our thoughts, choices, and behaviors, we maintain a sense of agency and autonomy. Accept the inevitability of uncertainty. Stoicism emphasizes the inevitability of uncertainty in life. Despite our best efforts, external circumstances remain unpredictable. By accepting the inherent uncertainty of outcomes, we release ourselves from the burden of unrealistic expectations and the distress that comes with disappointment. Detach from the desire for approval. Seeking external validation and approval can be a source of emotional turmoil. Stoicism advises against placing one's self-worth solely in the hands of others. By detaching from the desire for constant approval, we cultivate a more stable sense of self based on internal values and principles. Recognize the impermanence of external achievements. External achievements, whether material success, recognition, or praise, are transient. Stoicism prompts us to acknowledge the impermanence of external accolades and to avoid deriving our sense of fulfillment solely from them. By focusing on the process rather than fixating on outcomes, we develop a more resilient and fulfilling approach to life. Practice negative visualization. Negative visualization is a Stoic technique involving the contemplation of potential setbacks or losses. By mentally preparing for adverse outcomes, we reduce the impact of unexpected events on our emotions. This practice not only fosters resilience, but also helps us appreciate the present moment and the positive aspects of our lives. Avoid undue attachment to possessions. Stoicism encourages us to view material possessions with detachment. While it's natural to enjoy the comforts and conveniences that possessions provide, excessive attachment to them can lead to anxiety and discontent. By recognizing the impermanence of material goods, we cultivate a healthier relationship with our belongings. Find joy in the process, not just the outcome. Stoicism advocates for finding joy and satisfaction in the process of pursuing goals rather than fixating solely on the end result. By embracing the journey and appreciating the effort invested, we derive a sense of fulfillment regardless of external outcomes. Maintain equanimity in success and failure. Success and failure are inevitable aspects of life. Stoicism encourages us to approach both with equanimity, recognizing that external achievements and setbacks do not define our intrinsic worth. By maintaining a balanced perspective, we navigate the highs and lows of life with greater emotional resilience. Practice mindfulness in the present moment. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present moment and appreciate the here and now. By cultivating mindfulness, we reduce the tendency to dwell on past regrets or anxiously anticipate future outcomes. This centered awareness enables us to engage fully in the present and make intentional choices. By incorporating these Stoic lessons into our lives, we develop a healthier relationship with external outcomes. Practicing detachment does not mean indifference or apathy. Rather, it involves a balanced perspective that acknowledges the limits of our control and places emphasis on the internal aspects of our lives that we can influence and shape. Lesson 9. Nurture gratitude and contentment. Gratitude and contentment are foundational aspects of Stoic philosophy, contributing significantly to a fulfilling and meaningful life. Stoicism encourages us to appreciate what we have, cultivate a contented mindset, and find joy in simple pleasures. Here are essential Stoic lessons on nurturing gratitude and contentment. Count your blessings daily. Stoicism promotes the daily practice of reflecting on and appreciating the positive aspects of our lives. By consciously acknowledging our blessings, whether big or small, we shift our focus away from what is lacking and cultivate a sense of gratitude. This practice helps foster contentment and a positive outlook. Embrace the concept of premeditatio malorum. Premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, is a Stoic exercise involving the contemplation of potential challenges or losses. By envisioning the absence of what we value, we gain a deeper appreciation for the present and the things we might take for granted. This practice contributes to a sense of gratitude for the aspects of our lives that bring us joy and fulfillment. Practice amor fati, love of fate. Amor fati is a Stoic concept encouraging us to embrace and love our fate, including both favorable and unfavorable events. By accepting and appreciating the unfolding of our lives, we develop a profound sense of gratitude for the entirety of our experiences. This mindset shift allows us to find meaning and beauty even in challenging circumstances. Avoid the pursuit of excess. Stoicism advises against the relentless pursuit of excess or constant craving for more. By practicing moderation and appreciating sufficiency, we reduce the tendency to be perpetually dissatisfied. Contentment arises when we recognize that we have enough to lead a fulfilling life. Cultivate an internal locus of control. Stoicism emphasizes focusing on what is within our control, and our internal state of mind is a crucial aspect of this. By cultivating an internal locus of control, where our sense of fulfillment is derived from our thoughts, choices, and virtues rather than external circumstances, we develop a more stable and contented mindset. Find joy in virtuous actions. Stoicism teaches that true joy arises from virtuous actions rather than external rewards. By aligning our actions with virtues such as kindness, integrity, and courage, we experience a deeper sense of fulfillment and contentment. The pursuit of virtuous living becomes a source of lasting joy. Appreciate the fleeting nature of life. Stoics recognize the transience of life and the impermanence of all things. By acknowledging the fleeting nature of experiences, relationships, and possessions, we gain a heightened appreciation for the present moment. This awareness contributes to a sense of gratitude for the opportunities life presents. Practice contentment in adversity. Stoicism encourages us to maintain contentment even in the face of adversity. By accepting challenges as part of the human experience and finding meaning in our responses to them, we nurture a resilient contentment that transcends external circumstances. Foster a positive perspective. Stoicism teaches us to choose our perspectives consciously. By reframing challenges as opportunities and setbacks as lessons, we cultivate a positive outlook on life. This intentional approach contributes to a mindset of gratitude, where we appreciate the growth and wisdom gained from both positive and challenging experiences. By integrating these Stoic principles into our daily lives, we can nurture gratitude and contentment, fostering a sense of fulfillment that transcends external circumstances. This mindset shift not only enhances our well-being, but also deepens our appreciation for the richness of human experience. In conclusion, Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of maintaining inner tranquility and acting in accordance with your own values when making a decision to give someone a second chance. Understanding the limited control over others' behaviors and realizing that inner peace should not be dependent on external factors can be the key to establishing healthy relationships in line with Stoic principles.